Do you remember when Santa was real and Christmas cards filled the mantle and hung from ribbons all over the walls? When carol singers came to your door and people smiled more and wished you Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays as soon as December came around? I want to go back to those days with all the lovely things that make you feel like home. The kids' homemade decorations, baking cookies and treats like you used to do with your mum. I want to fill my senses with cherished festive traditions and bring back the magic of my childhood and bygone Christmases. So how am I going to do this? Well, I want it to look like Christmas is thrown up on my tree. I want colour, I want twinkling lights, I want to listen to Christmas music, plan time together to feast, play games, sing carols and watch movies, but most of all, I want to be with my family and friends and make new memories of Christmas. Well, Dudley's raring to go, so we're going to get started. We're going to start on the mantle. So I'm going to give it a really quick clean, take everything off, put it in the boxes that I'm using, I'm taking the decorations out and putting the decor that I'm taking down in the boxes so that after Christmas time everything can go back as I sort of swap it out. This is the first of the garlands that I'm using. This is a 9-foot garland. It is quite sparse, so I fold it over and fold it on itself and it makes it a little bit more lush. Then I have a real feel garland that is it's supposed to be 6 foot, but it's not quite. And then I intertwine it with some really old vintage holly, plastic holly that I've had for years, but looks really great when they're all sort of twisted together. Most of them, if they're not thrifted, I pick them up from Michael's. I then wanted to add some height and some interest, so I've got my collection of candlesticks that are all different sizes and shapes, and I'm adding my bottle brush collection, which are also different sizes and shapes. I'm gluing them if they don't fit into the candlesticks, and I'm going to add them on the mantle once I've got the lights on. Once they're all together, I will then add the as I said, I'll add the lights, and it just gives it a really nice little bit of interest to the mantle. And I'm going to try and repeat this on the table in the dining room with the rest of the trees that I have left over. So for the time being, I have got this ribbon on the mantle, but I'm going to change this out after a while when I've changed things up, because I do change the ribbon that I'm using. But as you can see, just here and there, different heights, different sizes, and it looks really pretty, especially when it's lit up in the evening. So as I said, I have a very large collection of bottle brush trees. I'd use mainly the green ones for the mantle, and then I've got mostly glittered and different coloured trees that I wanted to put into this little tray. It's like an oblong wooden tray. I had used it in the summer house earlier on in the summer. I've given it was like a basic wood colour, and I'd given it a very light green wash. So I'm leaving the colour, I like the colour that I've painted it. I'm taking these 4 little brass feet and screwing them to each corner. I picked these up in a Temu haul earlier on in the year, and I've been waiting for the right moment to use them, and this little tray is just perfect. I also have these little corners that I'm going to be adding on the top of the trays, and those are going on, as I said, each corner. So we have the little feet on the bottom, and then we're going to fill it with these lovely glittery bottle brush trees. So you've probably noticed this is out of order because I've already shown me putting the feet on, but I don't actually put the feet on until I've put these little brackets on. So just bear that in mind if you decide to do something like this. So what I've done is I've taken the little brackets and I'm putting them on each corner. Now the brackets come with little brass nails and the feet come with little brass screws. So what I've done is I've got a miniature screw set that I use, and I've put coasters underneath the area that I'm going to be hammering just to protect the table. And what I've done is I'm holding the little fine little nails in place, and then I'm going to hammer them through the little holes, and this just keeps everything in place as I'm doing it. Stops me from flying all over the place. It's just easier to hold those little screws with a very fine little pair of pliers. It just makes the job a lot easier. So I'm going to repeat this on all four corners, and then as previously shown, I'm going to screw the little feet on. So the corners are nailed into place, the feet are on the bottom. Now it's just a matter of positioning the trees where I want them. I'm trying to mix the heights and the designs, and then once I'm happy with what the design I've come up with, I'm just going to glue everything into place, and it will then tie in, or at least be cohesive with the mantle in the living room. Once it's finished, all I do is wrap it with a string of these pretty little lights. They are coloured or white, and they look so pretty on the table. It is what I'm using when we're eating, and then I have another centerpiece for the rest of the time. So moving on to the tree, as with so many things in my house, this was a thrifted tree. I picked this up probably 6 or 7 years ago. I paid $60 for this, but this was a balsam 6.5 foot tree, and it's a real feel. This was probably one of their earlier models because they have changed, but this is so real looking. I was so happy when I found it. It did have different lighting on. I took the lighting on and put my own lights on, but it is such a gorgeous tree. It is so beautiful. I don't even know how much it would cost me if I'd have bought it now, but this is a tree that I will be hanging onto for a while. The decorations have come from my home, from the UK. I bought some with me when I moved to Canada. Lots of them have been special ones that we've bought over the years for the kids. Those ones were ones my daughters picked when they were very little. But you can see I've got so many special little ornaments on this tree. It is such a lovely, colourful, traditional tree. So what I'd done originally was I'd pushed the tree up between the couch and the fireplace, and then put these beautiful bows on. These were the bows that I used last year. This ribbon is from Costco, and it's like a plaid ribbon. I had a massive big roll of it, and I put all these bows on the tree. So hubby came home and he said, tree looks beautiful, but it looks as though it's squished up the corner and it's in the way now of the couch. So we ended up moving all the furniture around in the living room. I'll show you in just a minute what we've done, but it turned out so much better. I had lots of my own greenery, because it is a little early yet to put real greenery in the house because it will dry out. I find if you put it up too early. So I made some garlands out of bits of artificial greenery that I've had, and I've put them on mantelpieces and around lighting. So back to the tree. So that was the tree with that ribbon on. We moved the couch over to the corner, turn the table around, took out one of the leaves, moved a few other things around just to sort of fit everything in. We wanted the record player in the living room because I have lots of lovely old Christmas albums that I like to play. So it was a matter of a small job of just sort of decorating the mantle and putting the tree up became this epic major moving of furniture, But having said that, it does look so much better. The room still feels lovely and cozy, but it has opened up so much more. And with regard to the ribbon, once the room was ready and I'd got everything opened up and everything looked so fantastic, I decided I wanted to change the ribbon on the tree, and that's what I did. So I took off all the plaid ribbon and grabbed my green and red satin ribbon and put all those bows on the tree, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, even if I say so myself. One of my favourite places to decorate is my cabinet of curiosities, and this year was no exception. I have so many little things in this cabinet that I've picked up over the years that are really lovely Christmas treasures. One of my absolute favourites of all time is this Santa Claus that my sister bought me on one of her visits to Canada. It is always takes pride of place and comes out every Christmas, and I absolutely love it. This cabinet is chock full of beautiful items. The top shelf is my Nutcracker themed shelf. My second shelf is more family, and then the bottom shelf is a little bit more nostalgic. I have so many wonderful items in this cabinet that I just bring out at Christmas. A lot of them have been picked up from antique shops in the UK, special items that we've picked up over the years that mean a lot to us. This is the place that I put things that actually mean something to me. These little robins remind me of my mum and dad. This little train was from when my girls were little. This particular Christmas card that's in the frame was the last card that my mum and dad sent me together. The following year my mum passed away, and within a year my dad was gone as well, so that's a very, very special card for me. It always comes up every year. And there's a picture of my mum and dad when they were pregnant with me. That's the Nutcracker box that I made earlier on in the year, and then there's a picture of my brother who I lost last year, and then there's the little church mouse that came from the cathedral in the UK when I was visiting. My sister got a little set as well, and I always have those out and about. Various items that have been picked up that are from the turn of the century, or special items that have special meaning, jewellery, pictures, various things. And then the bottom shelf is lots more memorabilia from during the war, both wars, special things that I picked up from museums and antique shops. But you could spend hours just going through the things in this cabinet. It's just so lovely. So in the dining room and library part of the room, I did manage to put my big heavy curtains up above both doors, so those look really nice and warm and cozy. I've just put garlands over the fireplace, and above the bookshelves I've put a wreath on the mirror, and my busts I've just put some velvet ribbons with some holly and ivy. And then mostly garlands around the rest of the room. You can see I changed the fireplace out just slightly. I put some bells up and a brass garland that runs from one side of the fireplace to the other. The rest of the room then was just, as I said, just a few lights here and there, but mostly greenery. The greenery's gone across the top of the bookshelves, over the fireplace, around the lighting. When it came to the fireplace, I took away the fall flower arrangements and I put some evergreens in with some candles, and especially at night it just looks so pretty with the candle glow in the coming from the fire. I love the glow that this centerpiece adds to the table. It's so nice to walk into the house and these little lights come on. They're all battery operated, they're all remote control or on timer, so it's nice that they come on, they do their job, they make everything look nice and cozy and twinkly and Christmassy, and then they go off just in time for bed. But I love how the top fireplace turned out. Again, those are just artificial greenery, but it's such a real effect, and especially with the candles. Those candles are all thrifted candles. Just, you know, as I said, some of them, they're all on remote control, so they look very real, and the glow that comes from this fireplace is just gorgeous. as is the look of this fireplace. And those three garlands all twisted together give the look of a really lush, expensive garland, but it really wasn't. And it just shows, just by mixing what you already have, you can get the look of something that is a lot more expensive and a lot more high end. Another of my favourites is the old record player. This was a gift to hubby many years ago. We get this out every Christmas and put the old albums on. Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby certainly adds to that lovely nostalgic feeling. The old record player is topped with the top hat, the vintage top hat from the turn of the century that I picked up in an antique shop in London a couple of years ago. And again, it's such a lovely nostalgic feeling in these rooms. It's like coming home to a big warm Christmas hug. I can't wait to have the house full of family and friends at Christmas and really celebrate the season properly. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't, please subscribe and press the thumbs up, it really helps. Look out next week for my Christmas home tour, and don't forget to let me know what you'll be doing this Christmas, what traditions your family has, and how you're going to be decorating your home. So have a great week, and we'll see you next time.